concerns about the product itself, or just about general facilitation. I'm available at all times around the clock at community.mural.co. So I'm happy to help you in any way I can, and super excited to pass the mic to my good friend Aldi at Mural.
Thank you. So, hello everyone. My name is Aldana. Actually, everyone calls me Aldi. I'm based in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and I'm an onboarding specialist at Mural, which essentially just means that I help teams get up and running with our platform, providing them with the tools and knowledge that they need to be successful with Mural. So, today we're going to be doing a quick Mural essentials training. We will be talking about what is Mural. We'll teach you some of the basic features, how to collaborate with others, how to edit different objects. We're going to be doing a refresher into Mural Organization, what's the workspace level, the rooms that we have, the murals itself, and the same thing for the types of collaborators. We'll talk about members, guests, and visitors, so you know how to invite more people to collaborate with you. By the end, I'll share with you some different ways to use a mural to get you inspired and some other resources. So, before we get started, this session is highly interactive. So, if you're not prepared, get ready. Go grab a glass of water, whatever you need. I'm gonna be inviting you into the mural in a couple more seconds. And Megan is going to be out there looking at the chat in case if you have, any questions, you can go ahead and drop them in the chat or even unmute yourselves. I'll also make some stops on the way just to check in with you. All right. So let's start with what is Mural. Mural, it's a digital collaboration platform built to connect teams around the world. What you're seeing right here, it's pretty much how a mural may look like. So here we have a team moving around and adding some sticky notes in what it looks like it's a brainstorming activity. So here each cursor will represent a different person, and every change that they're making in the canvas, it's going to be saved automatically since we are a cloud-based platform. Now, Mural comes available in a few different ways. We have Mural for the web, which is how I'm accessing it right now. You're simply going to type app.mural.co in your browser, and that should take you there. And otherwise, you can always download the apps. We have an iOS, a Windows 10, all of those different applications to help you access it faster. Mural can be used both asynchronously or in real time, but it really help unlock, your team's potential and increase innovation. So let's give it a try together. Today, a couple of housekeeping rules, I'll say. We're going to be switching a lot between the browser and the shared screen in Butter. I will do my best to point you in the right direction, but just make sure that, if I'm expecting you to collaborate in the mural, you are in the browser, in the mural with us. And if not, I'm going to be asking you to take a look at the screen sharing in Butter. When I invite you in one more second, make sure that you adjust your navigation settings. This is the first thing you want to do, and it lives at the very bottom right corner of your screen. So you have it over here, and you can change between trackpad or mouse mode. No right or wrong answer there. It's just whatever feels more comfortable for you. And then finally, if you ever feel lost, we're going to be moving a lot in this canvas today. So if you don't know where we are, you simply find my avatar at the very bottom center of the screen. It will be the one with a little star badge. If you click there, you should be able to find me. All right, so let's give it a try. We're going to do a quick warm up exercise together. I'm going to grab a visitor link for you and I'll paste it in the chat. You will see how the visitor link works. You do not need to have any account created. When you access it, you're going to get yourself a visiting avatar assigned to yourself. You can add your name if you want to, so we can recognize you. And make sure that you're using Chrome, Firefox, or Edge just to get the best experience. As you're joining and as you're adding your names, you may get a few pop-ups here and there. Feel free to close those. And then at the very bottom right corner, adjust your navigation settings. You can try it out a little bit, maybe try zooming in and out, moving around, see how it feels, and get comfortable. And when you're ready, try and find my avatar at the bottom. If you click on my little face, you're going to start finding me in the mural. You'll go where I am. Amazing. Look at you go. All right. If you're ready, I'll take you down here into a very quick introduction exercise, we'll call it. I'm going to summon you to where I am, so you will be brought into my spot in the canvas. Make sure that you are in the browser. And for this exercise, we're going to keep things simple. I want to hear a little bit from you. So what are the challenges that you see in your current ways of collaborating? The idea is that we can add a few ideas, one per sticky note. I'll give you a couple seconds or minutes, really, and you can grab any of those sticky notes out there. It's pretty easy to collaborate in Mural. You'll realize you'll simply grab a sticky note, you can double click on it, and you will be able to edit it. Simply write on it. If you prefer to add your own sticky, you can also double click anywhere in the canvas and you'll create one and you can write on it. I'll give you a few minutes and I want to hear from you. Mural is on this mission, we say, to help teams unlock their potential and improve the way that people are collaborating. So I want to hear about you. Do you have any current challenges, any issues that you see in the way that you and your teams are currently collaborating with each other? All right, you ready? That was fast. I see some ideas around tech issues or engagement issues. You know, some people might not feel as engaged as if we were in person. And it's also hard with different types of personalities. Maybe you're a little bit more introverted type of person. You don't feel comfortable enough sharing out or participating. These are all great, ideas or thoughts, and thank you so much for sharing. I think that Mural can really help with all of this collaboration issues that we face in the remote work, and I'm here today to walk you through how easy it is to engage people, to make everyone feel comfortable enough to collaborate for equal participation. So let's take a look at it. Before we talk about all of the good things that you can do in Mural and adding content and walking you through the types of collaborators, I want to hear a little bit from you. So I'm going to summon you down over here. And I always like to start my sessions with a quick warm up or an energizer or maybe even an icebreaker. This is a great way to engage people from the start. And there are different ways on how you can do this type of activities. Maybe it's something to check in with your co-workers. Maybe in this case, it's something like rating your mural skills with a quick voting session and telling us, how you feel, how comfortable you feel with our platform. So let's give it a try. I'm going to do a quick voting session with you, and we're going to rate our mural skills. And let's see if I can do this. I do not remember. There we go. Alrighty. So we'll do it as a quick voting session. We're going to keep it anonymous and start. So if you're in the mural with me, you're going to get a little pop-up menu teaching you how to vote. You'll see it's very, very easy. You simply click on the little number that represents your level of comfort with mural. I'm going to be a 10 out there. I should be, at least. Flying infinity and beyond. All right. You're going to notice that when we're doing voting sessions, voting it's always anonymous. And at the very top, you're going to see a little black bar on your screens telling you the voting session that's in progress, how many votes you have left. And then towards the right, you're going to get a little drop down menu showing you who voted or who still needs to vote. So this is kind of helpful for a facilitator to sort of chase people down and say, hey, visiting Panda, go ahead and add your votes. We have maybe one more second. So let's end our voting session and see how people are feeling. All right. So most of us are feeling kind of like baby steps still. So we'll keep things very, very basic today. So glad that you are joining us to learn all the good stuff about Mural. I want to see how you're feeling. So, another type of icebreaker that you can do with your teams is something like a very quick check in. And for this, we're going to try practicing adding some sticky notes in the canvas. So, I want you to double click in the mural anywhere on an empty space. You're going to see you're going to get yourself a sticky note. And once you have it, I want you to write your name on it. You're going to notice that a little pop up menu will show up at the very sort of top of your sticky note. You can use that to customize your element. So you can go and change the color, you can change the style, and you can also format the text if you want. So I'll give you a few seconds, give it a try, customize it however you want. And when you're ready, you can grab your sticky note and move it on top of the image that best represents how you're feeling today.
I will say this is one of my favorite tiny icebreakers to do. It's super simple, keeps it kind of moving along, but really fun.
Yes, I love it too. And I love it because it's a kind of a light-hearted example of an icebreaker that you can do. It doesn't take more than like a minute or two. It's very easy even for beginners to complete. And it's fun, right? Like I love the Nicolas Cage. We have many versions of this. We have a one with old dogs pictures and cats pictures. So you can even create your own. It's very, very easy. All right. It looks like everyone is feeling quite all right today. Happy, relaxed, focused, excited. No one feeling bees, so I'm gonna take that as a win mid the mid through the week today. So that's amazing. All right. For this part, we're going to move into adding content together. So I know that we have different learning styles. If you're the type of person that would rather just sit and watch people do things in Mural, go back into the screen share in the butter meeting and just stay there. If you prefer to go along with me and give it a try on your own and practice alongside me, you can be in the Mural and I'll walk you through all of these features. So pick your best spot, either screen share or the canvas, and there we go. To add your elements, you're going to find the left toolbar, right? You're going to see a little toolbar on your left on in black. And this is the place that you're going to be going to if you're trying to add elements into the canvas. We're going to go one by one together today. So the first one are the sticky notes. Sticky notes is the first option in the left toolbar. When you click on the option, a little menu will show up. I will recommend you to grab the element that you're trying to add, in this case, the sticky note, and drag it and drop it inside of the canvas. That way you have control over where this element will be added. So give it a try. Try adding a few sticky notes here and there. You'll notice you can add a square, rectangles, even circle sticky notes. Easiest and fastest way to add a sticky note, it's just double clicking. So that is the easiest way. And then we also have a different shortcut. So if you try double clicking and adding a sticky note, and then you simply press the tab key on your keyboard, you'll notice that you can add more sticky notes right next to where you are. But it's an easier way when we're maybe doing like a quick lining brainstorm to add a bunch of ideas very quickly without even having to, you know, leave the keyboard. All right, look at you go. Love it. Now, I've mentioned this, but when you select one element, you're going to get that little pop-up menu. And this is going to be your source of truth for the things that you can do with that element. So with sticky notes, we can draw on them. We can use that little pencil icon. That's a little crooked, happy face. We can also add text for sure, and we can customize it, right? We're just taking a look at that option, but you have so many different elements to make these objects really, really rich in formatting. So we have a bunch of ideas now. In my case, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling very stressed about how all of the sticky notes are in the mural. I like to have my content organized. So if you are like me, I'm going to show you a little feature that I love. And to use it, what you're going to do is once you have a bunch of sticky notes added into your canvas, into the mural, what you're going to do is simply hold down your shift key and multiple select the sticky notes that you added. Once you grab them, you're going to notice that on the pop-up menu, there are different options showing up now. And one of those, it's called arrange. So you can actually quickly arrange your sticky notes either by type, into a row, column, or even in a grid. If you do it by type, for example, you'll see how in just two simple clicks, I have now all of my sticky notes beautifully organized in my canvas. So if you want, you can give it a try. Again, you're going to hold down shift on your keyboards. You're going to click and drag in the mural until you've selected all of the sticky notes that you want. And once you have them, you're going to find the arrange feature on the pop-up menu. It's the fourth option. And then you're going to arrange your stickies. All right, great. I like to say that Mural has sort of like a memory because it will remember the last formatting that you chose. So if you double click next to any sticky note, it's going to copy the formatting that is closest, and then it will remember your preference. So it will continue to give you the same style in your stickies.
And Aldi, could you repeat that one more time, that process?
Yeah, so you're going to hold up for multiple selecting, right? And arranging. You're going to hold down your shift key and you're going to click and drag until you multiple selected all the sticky notes you want. Once you have them on the pop-up menu, the fourth option should be called arrange, and you can use that to arrange your sticky notes in a grid, column, row, or by type. Multiple selecting, I feel like it's something that we all need to practice and get familiar with. It can be a little bit hard sometimes, but I promise it's very easy. You simply hold down shift, click and drag, and multiple select. Amazing. Yes, look at you go. I love that. All right. Text is the second option on our left toolbar. You ready? This is the second option. When we go to the left toolbar, we have the text there, and we can add headings, we can add paragraphs. This can be helpful when we're creating, our own activities to add a title or instructions for our participants. But I wanted to make a stop on the comments. This is the one that I think it's the most important to cover today. Comments are a great feature, in particular for asynchronous collaboration. So if you if you remember, I said I'm based in Buenos Aires, right? But Megan, it's in the US, and then I have people distributed all over the world. You can assume, our working hours are not at all the same. So sometimes we need to leverage asynchronous collaboration. Not everything can be a live meeting. And using comments can be super, super helpful for that. So what I'm going to do is maybe I have this idea and I need to get, Megan's feedback to continue working on it. I'm going to drop a comment into the sticky note that I want. And since I have invited her prior to the session, I can actually tag her in my comment and I can say, hey, what do you think? I can send that to her. She will receive an email notification letting her know I tag her in this comment. She can jump in and reply to me. And if she does that, then this number one that's showing up in the little bubble will become a number two to let me know there are two comments out there. Let's say that she give me her feedback, I'm ready to move on and continue working on it. When I'm ready, I can actually go and mark this comment as resolved. So you can even take it as an action item, right? Once you mark it as resolved, it means okay, this is done. And what it will do, it will make that little bubble just go away so that it doesn't distract us visually. If you ever want to be able to track down all of the comments that are spread out there in one canvas, you can go at the very top right corner of the screen. You're going to see a little chat looking icon, which are the comments, and we can track down all of the comments, either open and resolved too. I see Brian trying it out. I love it. Great. So, ready? We're going to talk about shapes and connectors next. If you do have any questions, I know that we're moving quite fast. Feel free to drop them on the chat, or even unmute yourself. Third option in the left toolbar are the shapes and connectors. This is great to start creating some diagrams, some flow charts. And the best way to use this feature is by enabling your connector points. So when you click on the third option in the left toolbar, a little menu will open up. You want to make sure that you toggle on that enable connector points option. Once you do that, if you go ahead and add any element like a shape, you're going to see that a couple of connector points showing up on each side of your element. And you can actually use them. So if you click on those connector points, it will help you create the next element that you need in that diagram. So you see it's going to be a lot faster and easier than if you had to drag in each connector and each shape at a time. You can switch the type of connectors that you're using to. I'm going to do that to create some sort of branches coming out of this big idea. And remember, the pop-up menu when you select elements is going to be your source of truth to customize it. So with shapes, you have a lot of options for customization. Not only you can change the color of the background that we could do with sticky notes, you also have the option to change the border color, the border thickness and style. And when we add text, you can also change the color of that text. So a couple more options for customization. And let's say we want to save us some time. So I want to be able to edit all of these maybe shapes at once. I don't want to go one by one. So what I could do is I'm going to hold down shift. I'm going to multiple select all of my elements. And then from the pop-up menu, I'll see an option that's called filter by type. You can actually filter, maybe stay with the shapes in this case for me. And I'm going to change the color of all of these shapes at once very, very quickly. And I can do the same thing with my connector. So we're going to give it a try. We're going to hold down shift, select all of our elements. We're going to use the last option, which is filter by type. And we're going to stay for me with the connectors. And I'll change the colors and the style of this very, very quickly. And don't forget, you can also add labels to your connector. Step one. Amazing. Right. All right, moving on, we have the three features that I'll say will help you increase engagement and add to that sort of like interactive and design aspect of our murals. The first one is the drawing feature. So the drawing option lives, of course, in the left toolbar and that little pencil icon. Fourth option in the left toolbar to draw, you're going to see at the very top of your screens, you're going to get a little pop-up menu to customize your marker, your pencil, the thickness, and just the color that you want to use. This is sort of like the only thing that I can draw, so apologies in advance for my tree, but there you have it. When you click on done drawing, you're going to see that your drawing will become one single element, so you can move it or resize it as you need.
These drawings
Great.
are looking great. Loving
Yes,
the
I
drawings
see.
out here.
I see more artist people over there. I love that.
Eric, what's your drawing? Is that a well, I'll let you explain your drawing. You look really great. I
Just try to draw a circle, but it's
looking good. That's a good circle.
All
freehand
right.
circle.
That's a fish, a fire. I love that, June. That's great. All righty.
Awesome job,
And then
everyone.
yes. And then we also have images and GIFs down below. Um, Images and GIFs, you'll have it on the left toolbar too. And the search bar, it's pretty much powered by Bing. So it's like searching for anything on the internet, right? You can use images and GIFs even for a quick icebreaker. So, for example, if I ask you, show me a picture of where you live, you can go, oh, and let's give it a try. So, try and search for a picture of your city and put it in the mural very quickly. You can use the left toolbar, go to images, type in there the name of your city, and find an image that you like. And then you can drag it and drop it inside of the canvas. Oh my God, that's beautiful. That's really where you live? Who added that picture? All right. Yes, Austin, Texas. Oh my God, that is beautiful, Megan.
Lots of parks.
All right. That's great. All right. I can see how easy it is to have people engage and interactive, participating. We don't have to go one by one and, you know, I don't know, explain where we're based or what do we like about our cities. It's just as easy as finding an image and making it visual. Lisbon. Ah, that's amazing. I want to go to Portugal sometime. All right. Next up, we have the icons. And icons are a great way to provide non-verbal feedback. So let's give it a try with our pictures. Let's go to the left toolbar and find a few icons that you can put on top of those images. So for me, I'm loving the Austin, Texas picture right there. I'm going to try and find something like a heart to put on top. And you can do this even um, with ideas. Maybe someone is presenting an idea that they like or they're working on for the next project, and you want to say, do you agree with them? You can, as simple as finding something like a, I don't know, a fire icon and put it on top of their, stickies out there. And it's very easy to keep people engaged and communicate with each other. I love it. And I think that naturally you will already doing it. So that's amazing. Good. How are we doing so far? Any questions? Any comments?
I see a lot of people moving in the mural. That's good.
Yes.
Finding it easy.
All right. So, up next, we have the last two features that I wanted to try out with you. These are the frameworks and tables. Let's start with frameworks. They live, and I'll summon you. They live on the left toolbar, of course, right below the images. And you're going to see that frameworks are organized into different categories. We have some layouts, agile related frameworks, business. We have calendars. Maybe you're trying to plan out your next project, and something visual might help understand how much time you have together. So it's as simple as easy as what month it's right now, May. As simple as adding a quick framework in there and adding our ideas or our deadlines in sticky notes into the framework. Maybe it's something like a retrospective exercise that you want to do with your teams just to collect some feedback after you're finishing up a project. Again, easy as adding that from your left toolbar without too much, preparation prior. All right. Yes, I love it. And if you give it a try and you add a bunch of sticky notes or any element into your frameworks, you're gonna notice that they're they're sort of like sponges, I like to say, because they will absorb the content that you put on top. So if you need to move, this calendar around, for example, no matter where we move it, the content will stay exactly where we added it in the first place. So we will never lose any content. A question that I usually get here is if we can customize these frameworks. So let's say that I really like this retrospective, but I actually want this to be, I don't know, a stop, start, and continue instead of what went well, what didn't go well, and actions, right? So in that case, we cannot really edit this uh, titles, but there is a workaround that I wanted to teach you. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the left toolbar and we're going to search for a heading and put it in here. Once we have it, we're going to rename it. So if I wanted this to be um, start. I can customize my text a little bit, maybe align it to the center, make it bold. And then what I can do is simply change the background color to white so that it matches the background of my framework. And you'll see what I'm simply doing is just covering up what was there before. So that's my little workaround. And now I'm getting lazy and I don't want to grab a whole new title and customize it all over again. So I'll teach you a few shortcuts to duplicate. Give it a try with me if you're in the mural. Add one sticky note and then you can try it out. So with the sticky note that you have, you're going to select it and then you're going to press Control D in your keyboards or Command D if you're on a Mac. You're going to see how the element will duplicate right next to where you are. Um, and then another shortcut to duplicate, it's holding down the Alt key or Option if you're on a Mac. So when you do that, you're going to see your cursor is sort of duplicating. When you hover over the element that you want, you can click and drag to duplicate it and move the element at the same time. So that's holding down Alt or Option in a Mac. Amazing. Yes. Shortcuts are some of my best friends in Mural. If you don't remember this in a second, that's completely fine. Just at the very top right corner of our screens, we have a little questions mark. Inside, we have a list to all of our keyboard shortcuts. So you don't need to remember them by heart. You can always go out there if you're trying to do something fast. And you can search by keyword. So if I'm trying to duplicate the shortcuts that I just mentioned, are right there for you. Amazing. All right. Let's see how we're doing on time. We have about 20 more minutes on this session. So I'll make a stop before we walk you through the Mural Organization and the types of collaborators. How are we doing? Any questions, thoughts, or feelings?
I do have a question, and probably just asking this on behalf of the group. So I think this is really good when you're collaborating with other people, right? But it's also possible to use Mural just by themselves. Like imagine if I'm applying for, I still don't have a team because I'm applying for work, right? It's like how can I use Mural for my personal, use?
Yes, definitely. And we do have a couple of templates too, but I've seen people working with others or even with themselves, like taking notes, for example, during a meeting, or just as a quick to-do list for yourself. Like that's definitely something that you can do, and I'll show you a few examples when we get to the ways to use Mural, because I wanted to show you a couple of templates to hopefully spark some ideas on how you can use Mural for sure. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Very well.
All right.
And also like a vision board, I guess. Like it actually
Yes.
works very well.
I've seen so many things. I've seen people using it as a vision board to plan their weddings. So
Yeah.
a lot of even personal uses for a mural, not even work related. So
Yeah.
of course,
Trips. Mhm.
sky
I
is the
don't think
limit.
I don't think that was actually a plug that you were meaning to make, June, but we're actually hosting a vision board session this.
Ah, very well.
Yeah, very cool that you mentioned that.
Yeah. Yes.
Love it.
There goes design planning for a trip. Exactly. Putting in inspiration, places to go.
Yes, and planning a trip, Santiago. Amazing. Yes. All right. So let's move into organization and collaboration. So First, we have how mural is organized. For this section, I'm going to ask you to take a look at the screen sharing because I'm going to be switching from different tabs and I want you to see exactly all that I wanted to show you today. So join me back in the butter meeting. Take a look at the screen share. In Mural, we have a couple of different levels of organization. We have the workspace level. You can think of it like your house or like an office building, right? Where people go to work. Inside of the workspace, we have different sort of rooms, right? More open spaces. Maybe it can be like a cafeteria if you're thinking about the office building, where you can get together with a colleague very quickly and discuss something, and then you're on your ways. We also have more private settings, like it can be a conference room, and where you can work on a specific project within a specific group of people. This is more of this is pretty much the same logic behind it. So we have the murals, which are these boards or whiteboard spaces. The murals would live inside of different rooms, private or open, and then the rooms will live inside of the workspace. I wanted to show you how this looks like in reality. So if I click on this little mural logo, I'm going to be taken from one of these murals into the entire workspace level. So it's going to look pretty much like what you're seeing right here. This workspace is called OS Admin. It's a workspace that I'm a part of. Again, it's like an office building. And I have a quick access to my murals and also to the rooms. If I go to the rooms, you're going to see I have a full list over here. And I can even filter by my open or by my private rooms to have quick access. Let's talk about the private. Privates are going to be for you and for the people that you explicitly invite to collaborate with you in those rooms. So, for example, I have my own private room in here. And if I show you this, I have a few murals of things that I'm working on or just testing and that I'm not quite ready to share with anyone. So that's why it's just living in my own private personal room. I also created a few folders, and folders are like an extra level of organization inside of a room to have your content a bit more organized. So if I know that maybe this mural belongs to project A, I can grab it and drag it and drop it into that folder again to have my room a bit more tidy. Now, I have private rooms for maybe project specific work or team specific or department specific um, murals. So I have a quick access to all of this over here. Now, open rooms are going to be visible and accessible for every single person that it's a part of the workspace. So going back to that sort of a work analogy, and anyone that has a credential to access the office building will be able to go anywhere within the open rooms list. In here, you're going to be storing information that most likely is not confidential. For example, like brand assets or I don't know, company informations or organizational charts, things that anyone can have access to and that is not sensitive. So if I wanted to see what's happening in the all hands room, I can simply click on it and all of the murals will show up for me very quickly. I'll give it a second. And it's empty because it's a test room. All right. Now, on the free plan, and I wanted to clarify this, I'm assuming that if you do not have an account created at Mural, for the free forever plan, you can subscribe to that. It's going to be free forever. We do have a couple of limitations with the free plan. You can only have up to 3 active murals created, and you do not have access to the private rooms. If you do require to have a little bit of extra, security and have access to private rooms or even more than 3 active murals at once, I would recommend, take a look at the our mural side and take a look at the pay plans. We have business and enterprise as well for big companies. Now, if I wanted to create an extra room, I can go very quickly to the top right corner, create a new room. Maybe I'm trying to work on a specific project with my colleagues. I can give it a name, select the type of room that I want, and then I can go and create it. I wanted to quickly walk you through the types of collaborators that we also have at Mural. We have members, guests, and visitors. So members are people that are a part of your company. These are going to share your same email domain and they will have full access when we're talking about a paid plan. If you're on a free plan, member is the way that you're going to be accessing your workspace and anyone else that you invite. Members are will have full access. They will be able to create rooms, invite others. They can be facilitators. They have, again, full access. Guests are people that are external to your company. So they will have an external email domain, and their permissions will be a little bit more restricted. They won't be able to invite others or create their own content. They can only access whatever a member has invited them to. By default, they're external to your company. So again, they have an external email domain. In the free plan, guests are not available. And then visitors are the third types of collaborators that we have. And these are the only ones that can collaborate completely, anonymous without an account created. So they can come in exactly as you're joining my mural today as a visiting avatar. You didn't have to sign in or be registered with Mural at all, but you can participate in the mural. In the free plan, if I'm not mistaken, you can invite people as visitors, but they will only have view only permissions. If you're trying to get a participant to edit the content with you, you will need to invite them as a member, which are unlimited on the free plan. If you want to, learn a little bit more about these differences or sign up for Mural, feel free to take a look at our site or even reach out to me and I can walk you through the differences. How do we invite all of these people? I'm going to go to the top right corner of my screen, this little pink share button, and you see I have two options on this paid plan in this case. So I have members and guests, and again, the only difference will be their email domains. Mural.co, it's my email address. So these people are going to join me as a member. Second one is external for me. They're going to join me as a guest. The other option, if I am not sure if these people have already signed up and have an account created at Mural, easiest way is to invite them as a visitor instead. So I'm going to go to this tab, I'm going to copy a link, and then I'm going to send it to anyone, and they will be able to jump right in and start collaborating in the canvas. If at the end of the session I don't want my participants to have continued access to the content, I can go and reset the link at any time, and this will sort of kick everyone out. They won't have access unless I share a new link with them. Another option, sometimes we don't want to invite our collaborators. Maybe we just want to quickly export the content. I have actually planned trips in Mural with my friends, and sometimes I didn't want to invite them to do that whole conversation. Maybe it's just like, hey, I created this and I wanted to show you, and I will export the content. So in that case, what I would do, I will go to the top left corner of the screen. I'm going to click in the download button, and you'll see I have different options. I can choose the format that I want. I can do PDF, image. I can even do a PowerPoint presentation. And then I can choose the type of content that I want, either the entire mural or maybe just in a specific section to quickly download and attach on an email or share with a friend. All right. How are we doing? Any questions or comments? If I see a question on the chat, so if you wanted to stop editing, but for everyone still see, can you do that? Yeah, so if you mean a view only link, I'm assuming I can do that from the share model. So if I go either for members and guests, I always have the option to change their permission. So I can do can view, for example.
Good question.
Yes. Let me know if you have any follow-up on that, Brian. All right. So it's your turn to share now. I'm going to take us all over here. And if you want to join me back in the mural, we're going to do very quick voting sessions to learn a little bit more about you. And then we're going to go into our closing remarks and some ways that you can use Mural. So we're going to do question 1. How are you currently collaborating with others? Let's do a quick voting session. I'm going to do sticky notes over here or shapes. I don't even know what this is. Let's see if this works. Bear with me. while my mural loads. Of course, this will happen to me on the day that I have to do a training. All right, we're right there, and that is not working. All right, we're gonna do it without the voting then. So adapt. This is how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna ask you to go to the left toolbar and search for an icon. We're not gonna do it anonymous in this case. And tell me how you're currently collaborating with others. So are you doing remote work? Are you going to the office? Do you do hybrid? Search for any icon that you want and put it on top. Amazing. Second question. Let's do it same way. So how well do you think your team uh, work overall when distributed? Not well enough? You do okay. Or do you feel like you're expert remote workers? Let's do the same thing. You know how to duplicate, so you can duplicate the same icon and put it on top of the sticky note. Question 3. Ready? How engaged would you say is your team during team meetings? Low engagement from everyone, limited participation, maybe not all voices being heard yet, or equally engaged and participating. All right. And finally, our question 4. Who do you see yourself collaborating with in Mural? Your team members, other departments within your company, external clients, maybe choose yourself some personal work or leadership. For this, you can do more than one vote. I actually do all. So I will put that in there. All right. Looks like we have a combination. Most are doing remote work, sort of doing okay. No one has completely low engagement or working awfully when distributed. That's good. That's good to hear. Hopefully Mural can help you, get to being expert remote workers and having everyone feeling engaged while collaborating. Um, to give you some inspiration at on the next section, you have a couple of different ways to use Mural. So I'm going to summon you down here. All of these things that look like images are actually templates. So these are resources for you. We're going to be, you can save a link to this canvas if you want to revisit the content as many times as you want. I will leave this open. And here I collected a few template recommendations to get you started with Mural. Some people might use Mural for, taking notes, for example. So you have a couple of templates to help you achieve that in Mural and see how that can be done. Maybe it's just brainstorming or doing a team meeting. So you can do that again in Mural. I'm leaving you with some resources. If you want to access these templates, you simply double click on the things that look like images, and those should take you to the templates, pre-built canvases with all that groundwork already created for you. So you have a place to get started. I know that we have only 5 more minutes, so I'm gonna move us up into questions. If you do have any final questions for me, feel free to add them in the mural, and I will pass it on to Megan first to mention our community side and the session next week, and then June for our closing remarks.
Absolutely. So I'll drop a link in the chat, but I actually just shared a post in the Mural forum. Like I said, I am the community manager for Mural. And so if you go into that post, just drop a comment or drop any questions you may have. Both Aldi and I can respond to you there. I'm happy to respond anytime. But also, if you do share a post, there's a little gift for you. So be sure to join the community, share a comment, and I'll be happy to give you a little extra something for attending and listening to today's session. So thank you guys so much. I'll pass things to June.
Thank you so much, ladies. That was great. Couldn't have done it better. And thank you for the participants. Thank you for participating and being so engaged. I hope this was, a good session for you to get your feet wet, so to speak, when it comes to Mural. This is the first of our tools mastery series, and this is basically for you to get really good or very familiar with the tools like Mural. And so I would like to invite everybody to sign up for the next event, which is maybe Aldi, I'll hand it over to you as well. It's like, what is the next event? It's basically, this is the essentials, and the next level is.
Yes, it's the facilitation session. So you probably saw me using things like the outline, which is the agenda looking thing on the right side, or summoning you, or using the voting feature. All of these things are done with our superpower. So if you want to learn how to do that, join us in 2 weeks for a second session. And I added a link to register right in the Canvas on the question section. So feel free to go out there and sign up.
Exactly. And I'm just going to go ahead and leave it here as well. Just so in case anybody wants to click on that before our call ends. And lastly, I also want to invite everybody, for those of you who have not downloaded our beta just yet, and if you want to join as one of our beta users, because we just recently launched our app, I'm going to go ahead and invite you to become one of our beta users, and I'll leave the links to the download links in the chat in here. We'll also be sending this as part of the recap. Oops, sorry, that's not the one. Let me cancel that. And we'll be uploading the recording of this session in the app as well. And so you can always go back to it if you need to rewatch the session. It will be available through there. And yeah, I think that's basically it. Thank you all for being here. Ines, do you want to say hi before we go?
Yeah, I'll say obviously a great introduction to Mural.
Right. Very well. We were having some scratchy with the microphone. I think there's an issue with the audio, but very good to see. Well, if you are going to download the app and you will come to the next session, we will be here. Ali will be here. Megan will be here. Ines and myself as well. And so we hope to see you again. And yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Hope you have a great day ahead.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Still here.